Why is it doing that? Yeah, chat. Everything's like going cuckoo, and the reason why is because on my edit on YouTube, I put the pinball. I put the pinball thumbnail up, and it says the double dragon thumbnail instead. So I have to click on the double dragon, and hoping that you guys don't see double dragon on the thumbnail, and that should be fine. I don't know. I don't know. Everything's like going like that for me right now. But anyways, we got the connection going already. I had to call. Kind of freaked out a little bit, sure enough, But I'm just tired of, the changing, all the transition and changing internet and all that. And it just frustrates me. I mean, I'm the one that's paying the internet, and I'm just tired of changing boxes and switching the Wi-Fi's and all that, and re-put everything all back together. Can you guys, do me a favor? Can you guys close your ears for a second, please? I would really appreciate it. Alright, you can open them now. But still, fuck. Alright, let's get the game flowing. Shut up, Kuromi. She's over here laughing at me like always. Alright, let's play some games now. Hopefully everything goes good, because right now it's telling me excellent connection and yada yada. You guys are over here, watching me with the title. I feel like playing some pinball in the morning and all that. Everything's going good. And that's the part that I dislike it in a way, is that you have to be on top of your game if you're gonna be streaming on 3 platforms, 4 platforms, 5 platforms, and so on, right? Because I'm trying to reach out to you guys and all that, so we could communicate. I don't really care about having a lot of subscribers. If I do, I do. If I don't, I don't. As long as I get some cross talk with people who are interested in this game and so on, and forget it, I'll just shut up.
And most certainly a chainsaw.
Come on, let's go.
And I don't even know if I'm online right here on Twitter. Oh, there we are. Alright, cool. Yeah, see, there's my ugly ass. See, I knew my ugly ass was somewhere. Oh shit, I didn't adjust this. I'm fucking. I don't like that angle. That's good. Oh shit, I missed it.
Hey, man.
So I was eating my cereal before all this fiasco started. You know, of getting my little pod that I have connected to my PC, which is the Wi-Fi for the PC. You know, because I bought an extra like a little router, so I have like 2 routers, which is a little pod for my PC, and then the regular router for all the utilities in the house and all that shit. You know, the gadgets and gizmos. So I call the guy, and it looks like everything's going perfectly and all that. So I just hope it remains like that, you know, to the whole stream. This hat was on sale. I bought it at Hot Topic, you know, the Kuromi hat, you know. It was on sale, so, you know, it only cost me a bottle cap because I was drinking a soda that day. And so I bought it just the other day at the mall for a bottle cap. So, yeah, so that was a good sale, right? Kuromi hat for a bottle cap. And you guys can hear perfectly fine, right? I assume? Because, yeah.
Okay, let's go before she gets us all killed.
Hopefully it's not echoing and all that. I mean, I got my main sound on 50. Maybe it should be lower. I don't know. And then the game, I have it on 43. No higher than 50. Because then it's going to be echoing like a mother... Yeah, you know what I mean? Just mother. I got that from Billy. From that movie, what's it called? Power Rangers. This is like a mother. Just mother. Just mother. Because he doesn't cuss. Doesn't curse, that's funny. Yeah, I hope everything...
I'm getting Lila and taking her out of here.
Now I'm eating an omelet with a dingo hopper with Kuromi on it to match, you know, the aesthetic. I needed like a dingo hopper and a spoon. I didn't find a knife. Otherwise, I would have bought a knife too, to meet my expectation with Kuromi. But here she is, trying to... Ta-da! Yay, Kuromi!
Excellent score, I suppose.
In the summer of 1973, a few miles
See,
outside
my
of
screen
Boston,
moves. So every time I continue
5
again,
youths were attacked in a grisly and gruesome fashion
it moves,
by an
and I'm tired of
unidentified
doing that
madman.
constant moving.
The shocking murders
Because on
were committed
Pinball
with a
FX, it
variety
doesn't
of
do that, you
tools,
know, the
including
constant moving.
hammers, meat hooks, and most disturbingly, a chainsaw.
No, Kuromi ain't playing, guys. It's just that she just wants to kick it with me. She doesn't like Chainsaw Massacre. It's too gory for her.
Say you know me. Say you know what you did to my friends.
Hey, man. You okay?
Okay, okay, let's go before she gets us all killed.
Call the cops. You hear me?
You don't remember me.
I barely realized that I have multi-ball. I'm not all there right now because I'm hoping that my stream goes well. That's all I care about right now. I don't really care about losing or winning.
I am getting Lila and taking her out here.
Like, have to reset it up again and set up the time and all that shit, you know. Next time if it happens like that, I'm just gonna like just jump in and not, you know, put a thumbnail or nothing. It's like I said in other streams. I mean, if you guys are subscribed to me and you have that notification bell, what the hell I need a thumbnail for? You know, that's just gonna notify you or buzz you or whatever on your phone, your pad or whatever, and let you know that I'm live. You don't need a thumbnail. That's just to, you know, get other people that are non-subscribers, just, you know, that channel's gonna be playing a certain specific game that you might want to watch. That's all it is, like a little reminder. Doesn't really do anything. The one that does the most is the notification. That'll ring you up, you know. That'll like buzz you or whatever. Here, Karam, sit down right here. I need to eat some of my breakfast. And remember, chat, breakfast is never the important meal of the day. I mean, it gets you by, but it's not important.
In the summer of 1973, a few miles outside of Austin, Texas.
I am getting Lila and taking her out here.
Alright, so I started the game, and this time the screen didn't move. If you notice that, see that I don't have to adjust it.
Melody! Mel!
I have like a little mild headache, chat. Because all the frustration that I go through, and you know, just like, I guess, I don't know, when you're a streamer or something, you want everything to go perfect. You know, you don't want to have to redo something or delete something, and you know, right now, like you guys saw that I had a BF, so that's why I told you to cover your ears, because you don't want to hear a guy go through a BF. You know, it's embarrassing, but I had to let it out.
Okay, okay, let's go before she gets us all killed.
Hey, man. You okay?
Say you know me. Say you know what you did to my friends. You don't remember me.
We look down here. I'll head upstairs.
Wow. Thought I lost it there for a second. See? Early in the morning, I'm already getting the Uchi Coochie in the nose. And that too, that's what's frustrating me. The Uchi Coochie.
You hear me?
Come on, let's go.
And usually I'm more representable. Presentable. I'm like clean shaved and stuff like that. And now you guys see me with my Velcro on my face. I'm not used to that. I don't like having Velcro on my face. I like having a smooth face. Yeah, that Velcro thing is just, I don't know. You know, some girls like a guy with, you know, a Velcro on their face, but I feel weird. I get itchy and like that.
Remember me now? I'm the one who got away, and I'm here to make sure you don't. Motherfucker.
He said motherfucker. Bitch. He said motherfucker.
Down there?
No?
The guy was pretty helpful. Oh shit, that was cool. Y'all see that? That was badass. I hit it and it went like from the inside of the pin, like right out. The guy was cool. You know,
Excellent score.
he was very patient over the phone. I mean, that's their job, right? But I mean, he was like really cool. You could tell, like some people, you know, will like literally be a dick, and some people will be like really cool about it and stuff like that, and really want to help you because, you know, I'm sure they deal with the same situation in every home, you know. So
In the summer of
I don't
1973,
know. He was cool.
2 miles outside of Austin, Texas, 5 youths were attacked in a
And he goes, anything that I can help you with, such and such? And I'm like,
The shocking murders were committed.
that's good. I just want to make sure that
including hammers, meat hooks.
I'm like a girl. I'm like,
Disturbingly, a chainsaw.
guys do it too, damn it. Shut up.
I'm getting
No, for real though.
taking her out here.
Yeah, he was cool about it, and he goes, anything else such and such? I just say Dark Realm. Fuck. And I'm like, yeah, everything's good. I just want to make sure that, you know, the little blue light is blinking on the pod. Is that normal or what? And he goes, once the little blue light, you know, stops, it's because it's already synchronized to the Wi-Fi, to the new Wi-Fi, to the new router and all that.
Okay.
I'm like, all right.
Go before she gets us all killed.
Right before I was gonna hang up, I go, hey, just so you know that the blue light is done. It's not blinking anymore. He's like, oh yeah, so it's already synchronized. It's already like logged in to the Wi-Fi. I'm like, cool. So I'll be able to stream now because I was streaming earlier, and before I called you, it like literally kicked me out, like literally. You know, I have to like, you know, delete the stream and everything like that, and redo it and everything, click everything back in and type everything back in.
Come on, let's go.
He's like, nah, you should be good. And I'm like, all right. Anything else that I can help you with? Nah, I'm good, man. Have yourself a good day and all that stuff like that, you know? So he was really cool. His name is Jim. So I'm like, okay, Jim. I think, you know, he wants
Call the cops.
the man version of himself, you know, the Jim instead of a Jimmy, because Jimmy sounds like a little boy. So I'm a Jim. Jim Beam. Oh, Jim Beam, cool. Nice to meet you. Finally, I met Jim Beam. You know, I like drinking Jim Beam. Whiskey rocks.
In the summer of
And he said Jim Beam.
1973, a few
You
miles
know,
outside
because if he would have been more with a little
5
accent,
lives were
he would have said,
jacked in a grisly
"Hello,
and gruesome
I'm Jim
fashion
Gallagher.
by an
How do you do?"
unidentified madman.
Jim Gallagher,
The
imagine.
shocking murders were committed with a variety of tools, including hammers, meat hooks, and most disturbingly, a chainsaw.
Hey, man. You okay? Call the cops. You hear me?
You look down here, I'll head upstairs.
I have a pretty good angle then. Look at that.
Hey, man. You okay?
Oops, somebody let the water in.
Call the cops. You hear me?
I haven't lost the ball yet, huh?
Hey, man. You okay?
Melody! Mel!
Multi-ball!
Call the cops. You hear me?
Nice. Ew! What was that? Multi-ball! Again? Wow. Oh, it was a fluke. It was a multi-ball fluke. Damn. I almost lost that shit.
Got farther?
Mel?
And have luck. Haven't lost the ball yet. Wow. I should have lost that one. I didn't. That's cool. Maybe because I'm making it up for all the time lost that I did on the other street.
Say you know me. Say you know what you did to my friends.
What's going on in that bus? Jack, can you tell me what's going on in the bus? Because I don't know what's going on in the bus. Maybe you guys know something that I don't know. That's messed up. Cochinos. I missed it!
Got away, and I'm here to make sure you don't. Motherfucker.
Okay, okay, let's go before she gets us all killed.
Alright.
Say you know me. Say you know what you did to my friends.
Oh, shit. It just went yang like that, you know? I'm like... My reflexes are not that,
Okay,
you know,
okay, let's go before she gets
precise
us all
anymore.
killed.
Stop laughing. She's the one. I forgot, Jack. Does this guy have a name? The guy with the chainsaw? I forgot his name. Wasn't his name JJ? JJ. Does that sound like someone you will run away from? JJ? Oh, nice.
You don't remember me.
You need to make a Freddy Krueger or a Michael Myers. Hey, what's going on? Thanks for joining me. You're like, Dark Realm. What the French are you wearing? Close. You guys are like, oh, hell no. Well, at least you said it hell, you know, with some passion like I do. Hell rocks. But anyway, yeah. I woke up on the wrong side of the floor today. And you're like, do you normally like wake up on the wrong side of the floor? Because
I'm getting why I'm taking her out here.
I bought this hat for a bottle cap, just so you know, at Hot Topic. Usually it would cost you like $12, $15. It was a bottle cap. I was drinking soda that day. They're like, don't tell my supervisor, but I'll let you have it for the bottle cap. I'm like, cool. Fuck yeah. I took it. And it was their last one too. And it was like, you know, nice and neat. It wasn't like dirty or anything. But you know what I'm thinking? These little thingy right here. Sorry, Kuromi, disrespect, but yeah, I feel like cutting them. So I could just have a normal baseball cap without those little things sticking up. I don't care if I lose it. You know, without these things, you know. Because, hold on. I'll tell you right now. Because you know how that girl from Mean Girls, you know, I could feel the weather and it takes about, you know, she's all grabbing her chest and all that. So I'm thinking like if I touch this, I could, you know, tell the way. I killed her. Forget it. I have a 60% chance that I know it's gonna be raining this week. I still killed it. You murdered it. I murdered it. What happened, Mom? Alright. See you. Hold on, guys. Oh.
Excellent score, I suppose.
Ready? See, she left me, I left her.
Another step on the path of damnation.
Why am I at the vault? Oh, I was supposed to unlock some shit. We're going at 35 minutes. We can play some more. Campaign. Classic.
In the summer of
Oh, there it goes. See?
1973,
Now I messed up
2
on me
miles
again.
outside of Austin, Texas, 5 youths were attacked in
There
a
it goes.
grisly and gruesome fashion by an
Goddamn
unidentified
mouse.
madman. The shocking murders were committed with a variety of tools, including hammers, meat hooks, and most disturbingly, a chainsaw.
Hey, man. You okay?
You look down here. I'll get upstairs.
Call the cops. You hear me?
That's somebody's head, man. I was wondering what that thing was. And I'm looking at it like, oh, that's somebody's head.
Okay, let's go.
Gargino.
Before she gets us all killed.
Y'all hear that in the background? There's like a little theme song going. Doesn't that sound like a build up on a metal song? Like you're building it up, kind of like an intro type of thing, you know, building it up. That's good they didn't decide to put well, it's not good, but it's cool that they didn't put anything that will, you know, get a copyright off, you know? Because like I said in other streams, like when I was playing Pinball Effects, I was playing what's that? I was playing that pinball. What's it called? Ghost Rider. And Ghost Rider has the Marilyn Manson, and they even have the lyrics too. The Marilyn Manson "Beautiful People" song from Antichrist Superstar. And I thought I got banned because they told me that stream got taken down because due to copyright. You know, and I'm like trying to figure out like why. I was playing Pinball Ghost Rider. Oh, that's why. Because of the Beautiful People theme song. I'm like, what the fuck? For that? That's crazy. And this is when I was like first started streaming and stuff. I'm like, wow, my first strike, and I already got it like that. And then they reviewed it, and they're like, no, you're good. I'm like, you serious? After all that, you know, like it stressed me out, kind of thing. Like, what the fuck? And he goes, no, you're good, like that, because, you know, I know you get copy strike for, you know, playing music, kind of like when you play the WWE 24 2K game, right? And you gotta stream it with no sound. I mean, you can do it on Twitch because Twitch has different policies, but
You look down here. I'll get
not
upstairs.
YouTube. You gotta like play the game, but with the music, you gotta like, you know, take it off all the way. So, I mean, that it takes away from the game, but yeah, that's what you gotta do when you stream that game. Or, you know, 2025, I'm gonna be purchasing that next week for sure. But I thought I got a copyright And it kind of like bummed me out. I was stressed. I'm like, what the frack, you know? And I was like, all bummed out. And then they tell me, no, you're good, like that, because they don't have control. They have only control if you play it because you know better and you do it anyways, right? But on the game, if it's installed in the game,
Come on, let's go.
and they play, you know, the beautiful people of Marilyn Manson on that game, there's nothing you can do. Is the makers, you know, that made it that way. You know, it has nothing to do with YouTube. YouTube is just protecting, you know, the policy of their own policy. But you can't control of what's, you know, what's been made. The only way you'll be able to do it is if you take the music off the pinball, but then there goes the whole stream, you know, because without the music, I mean, you just, you know, all you hear is just clicking of the person's controller, you know, the content creator's controller for he or she. And it's gonna be boring without the music, because the music is what makes the game, you know, the special effects and all that stuff, you know. So I'm in a way, like, I know there's a theme song for Chainsaw Massacre, if I recall. And if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong, which is good. You know, that's good that I'm wrong. But I know there's there's a theme song for Freddy Krueger, Nightmare on Elm Street. How's that little song go? That little song, but I mean, it has no lyrics, so it should be good, right? Or Michael Myers, you know, all that little, you know, little theme songs. So it should be good, because they have Michael Myers Pinball. That would be perfect for, you know, Pinball M. If they brought out Freddy Krueger or Michael Myers Pinball, that'd be great. I'm a rat. I like cheese.
Say you know me. Say you know what you did to my friends.
I tried a lot of cheeses in my life. I like cheese. But what I'm eating right now is feta cheese. That's some good cheese right there.
Call the cops. You hear me?
I even tried the Garuda cheese. I forgot where it's from. But that's some good cheese right there too. Has that brown, you know, layer around it. And then in the center is like, you know, like that off-white. Not off-white. What is it called? It's kind of like a little mustardy color. The Garuda. There's some good cheese there too. But the feta cheese I like the most for some reason. Like every cheese has their own instinctive taste to it. That's funny. See that? You know how babies, when you first try something, they're like, Karomi doesn't like cheese. Look. Watch out, look. Yeah? Forget. More for me then. Oh, no, go back. Ah, man. I don't want the classic. And I'm gonna have to go brew another, you know, another cup of Joe because my coffee got cold. So I gotta go make some more coffee. I'm sorry, Chad. It's just that I have a nasty mind in a good way. I said coffee instead of coffee. Same thing, right? Coffee, coffee, same shit. And you know what's interesting? It's just I'm not a religious, you know, individual, and yet I still drink coffee. Most people be like, what does religion have to do with drinking coffee? Everything. I don't know if you guys are like, you know, grew up going to church and stuff. I don't know if you guys notice or pay attention, but every time the pastors or whatever have a group gathering early in the morning or after church or whatever, they go to the nearest Starbucks, not Starbucks, Starbucks, and they order coffee, and then they talk about the new upcoming, you know, events for, you know, the church. You know, who they're gonna be praying for and who they're gonna be baptizing and yada yada, this and that, you know, the negotiations. And with what? Coffee. Because every religious that I've experienced in my life, I don't know about you guys, but you know, I used to go to church when I was young, you know, and gunpoint, obviously. And yeah, and I paid attention to, you know, what pastors do, you know. And even like youth pastors, you know, that teach the youth and all that stuff, you know, in their classes and stuff like that. They even go to Starbucks and order some coffee. So, and I'm like, why am I drinking coffee and I'm not even religious? It's crazy.
The sound is horrifying. Can you hear it?
And that's why I'm telling like myself, like, no wonder I don't know wrong from wrong. Because I'm over here drinking coffee and I'm not even religious. I'm not a religious person. But anyways, yeah. I mean, I like iced coffee. It's cool, and that's what it tastes like. Even though I have no ice in it because it already got cold. I brew it this morning. But still, I like my coffee warm. You know, shut up. It's not funny.
A little silence. Thank you. Just for a moment, I glimpsed it. It's incomprehensible.
You guys are like, oh no, not your coffee. Alright, I won't give you more.
Help is here.
What? Alright. She doesn't let me play, chat. It's crazy. Look. Bitch. You're making me lose. Happy? I died. Happy? Hold on, chat. What? Oh.
A result truly beyond your plight.
Damn, I always gotta be a mom with this bitch. No. Yeah. All right. All right. Ready? All right. You enjoy yourself? All right. Ah.
Help is here.
And it's purple too, check. I like that. I was like purple ball. No! Dude, what was that? I hit it.
It will all be your reality.
That sounds like my ex, like, for all your reality. Bitch, please.
Help is here. I would love to publish these findings. Now, to understand what they are.
No more danger. You can rest now.
What was that movie called where the girl goes, Emily. Fuck, I forgot that movie. Y'all know which one I'm talking about?
No name, then?
It had to do with a sorority chicks or some shit like that. It was called. I forgot the name of it. She goes, Emily. Wow, you know, that bitch sounds like my ex besides this guy talking. I mean, my ex was, you know, forget it. Never mind. She was cool. I enjoyed being with her. I loved, you know, I loved her. Yeah, I don't know why I say love when I'm not about, you know, Corinthians and all that crap. But still, you know, I loved her in my own way. Not the way you're supposed to love, but I loved her in my own way. So I guess that's how what everybody can say, you know, to their, you know, the people they're with, like married or boyfriend and girlfriend, you know, girlfriend and boyfriend. You know, you guys would love, you know, the way you guys, you know, could love. Not the Corinthian way, but the way you guys are, you know, are comfortable loving. But yeah, I enjoyed being with her and stuff like that. And then,
It's not.
you know, things happen for a reason, I guess. I don't know.
I escaped, but barely.
I wish we didn't have to say that and we could stay with that person forever. But then again, I miss her. And you guys think I'm like weird? She was a female version of me. When I was with her, I wasn't dating. You know, when I was with her, you know, dating before we got together, I wasn't dating her. Because she's a female version of me. I wasn't dating her when I was in the relationship. I felt like I was dating me. You know? And that's scary. Because I finally met my match. And you know, there's some point in our lives that we end up, you know, running into people like that, you know? Where you least suspect it, man, there's gonna be like a female version of you or a male version of you, you know?
Help is here.
Wow, that was cool. But what would remind me of her is that voice. You're going to, you know, suffer now for eternity. Remind me of her voice. Damn, Darkroom, would you date? A witch? Like in the movie, what's that movie called? With Martin Lawrence and Will Smith.
There are new
Bad Boys?
personnel in the abandoned Kingston Tower.
He goes, they call her La Bruja, the witch. And he's like, Mike Larry, why would you be fucking a witch, man? She just happens to practice, brujeria, like magic, witchcraft, brujeria in Spanish. And then the whole time, he's been like telling them off because of him, messing with the witch. And then he has a kid with her. That was part 3, right? Part 3 of Bad Boys. And then you got yourself a kid. You have yourself a warlock baby with this witch. And in the end of the movie, you see the bloopers, right? Martin Lawrence is talking to some dude in the airplane, right? When they're about to fly back from Mexico back to the U.S. He's in the plane and he goes, "Excuse me, man. Let me ask you a question." And he's like, "What's up?" And he's like, "Will you fuck a witch without a condom?" And he's like, "No." And he's like, he turns around and looks at Mike and he's like, "He said no, Mike." Oh shit, this is funny as hell, dude. I love that movie. But anyways, yeah, my ex-girlfriend sounded like a witch.
This sound is horrifying. Can you hear it? Is this an illusion? Do you see that?
And that's how she snores too. You just heard that monster, whatever it was, that demon, that went. That's how she snored, dude. You guys haven't heard the snoring story where I was like laying down right next to her and she was snoring like crazy and I couldn't sleep, and I put electrical tape on her mouth. When she was snoring, it would make the farty noise on the side of her mouth, like. Oh man, I give myself more of a headache with that laugh right there. But she would be, she's like.
But it helps. Yeah.
I got tired of that shit, right? So I put electrical tape. In the cool part, it was black, so because I like black. I put electrical tape on her mouth, and she's like. Oh, I fell asleep laughing the whole night. I woke up, with her smacking me in the face. I'm like, what the fuck? And I forgot that I had left the tape on her mouth. She goes, what is this electrical tape on my mouth for? What the hell were you doing last night, you fucking perv? I'm like, what? Oh, because you were snoring at night. I couldn't sleep, bitch. Fuck. You had me like already up to here with that shit. I couldn't sleep. So that means you had to put electrical tape on my mouth. I'm like, I should have recorded that shit, man. I should have recorded. Because I swear, chat, if I would have recorded it, I would have put it full blast on stream. So you guys can have an idea, and so you guys will know that I'm not, just making up stories to make you laugh. I should have like recorded, but I don't know I was gonna be a streamer back then, because when you're with that somebody, for he or she, that's your world, and you don't want to do anything else except for your world, which is her or he, I don't know I was gonna be a streamer. If I would have known, or I would have been doing it by that time frame, yeah, I would have put her full blast.
I was not real. It's all.
So the work of here, what I had to deal with when I was asleep, dude, that shit was funny as fuck. I couldn't stop laughing. But you know how when you're laughing and you're trying to be like quiet at the same time, you're like, and you don't want to like laugh loud because you want to let it out, because it's so hilarious. Yeah.
Truly beyond your plight.
That was like the fun times for me, like that. I miss the bitch because we used to torture each other. Basically, you know. With that being said, it's like you were infatuated with one another. You just couldn't break up because, you know, you guys were hip to each other's bullshit. It was funny. It was good times. I miss the bitch. Ah, mamas. He's like, this bitch was still at the pet shop. I haven't even bought her yet. At that time, when I was with my girl. My girl liked Hello Kitty, but I like the Kuromi.
Help is here.
There's some girls that like Kuromi more than they like Hello Kitty. Well, because Hello Kitty was the first, and then Kuromi came about. And she's all telling me, like, I've been around. It's just, you know, they haven't brought me out yet. But I've been around already. Fine, you've been around, but still. And our reality, you were not around. So shut up. Bitch.
Examine it from every side. I will try to hold them out. I've seen this before. They underestimated us. Help is here.
I don't know, chat. I feel like going to a mall today. What do you guys think? I need to, like, get out of the city, get out of the house for a while. You know? Like some guys would say, I'm gonna go to the mall to look at the beaches. As for me, I mean, I like, you know, doing that too, like looking at the girls and stuff. But I like looking at the mannequins. The mannequins are the shit. You're like, what the frack? I'm like, exactly. To me, the mannequins is the thing to do. Guys go and look for girls and talk to girls and, you know, talk to the bitches like the slang that they use. But me, I like talking. Not talking to the mannequins, but you know, I like looking at them. You guys are like, Dark, shut up, man. You know you like talking to the mannequins. I'm a mannequin kind of guy. Like, what can I say? You know? Prosthetic limbs are the best.
Help is here. Right. Where is that light coming from?
You know what I was thinking the other day, chat? They should make a Scooby-Doo pinball. What? Some Scooby-Doo pinball. That would be nice. And the bonus for multi-ball will be like constantly eating your Scooby snacks. You hit it to a certain area in the table, where you gain points because he's eating the Scoopy snacks to initiate multi-ball. Shit, I thought I was gonna choke on that one. I was initiate. Eight.
Help is here.
Man, I had this ball for quite a while. See, because purple's my favorite color. Oh, there it goes. You see? Told you, I'll get bad luck when it's normal color.
Dare not think of it. I know a dead body. This is something else.
Sorry. See, my coffee is cold already, so I gotta make warm coffee.
No more danger. You can rest now. Which way, I wonder?
This sound is horrifying. Can you hear it? Is this an illusion?
So there's 5 games that I would like for Pinball M, the creators of Pinball M, to come out with. And hopefully you guys could agree with me, chat. What I want is Nightmare on Elm Street. I don't give a fuck. Nightmare on Elm Street.
Horrible casting
Or
shadow on us.
they come out with Michael Myers, Halloween Part 2, because there is a pinball out there that is Halloween Part 2. And it has Halloween 4 and Halloween 1. And it has the decal of Dr. Loomis and Laurie Strode and, I was going to say Laurie Stroke. Laurie Stroke. And they had Michael with his knife and all that, and his mask and all, yada yada, right? Okay, so Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween Michael Myers. Another one that's gonna be good, Terrifier. I want Terrifier to be in this game, and Pinball M, Pinball Terrifier table.
It's merely stillness. And a single
Also, I would like to see is Puppet Master, because Puppet Master, in the 80s, it was called Doll. It was a doll, like Annabelle and Peggy, and respect to those, to the higher ups, when it comes to, possessed dolls, right? Respect to Peggy, love her dearly, and Annabelle, I love them both. But then there was like another baby doll that was like a possessed kind of thing, It was like a baby type figure with diapers, and he was a bald head. It was Demonic Toys, it was called. The movie Demonic Toys. And then Chucky came about. If they can make Chucky,
Help is here.
then they can make Puppet Master. That's the other one I want to see in Pinball M. Puppet Master. They have a lot of sequels of Puppet Master. A lot. So I want to see is Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, Puppet Master, Terrifier, and there's one more. Last but not least, the grand finale, Jeepers Creepers. Jeepers Creepers will be good for Pinball M, because those are all like mass murder type of movies, right? Because you got Chainsaw Massacre, mass murder with the chain, Halloween with his knife, Freddy Krueger with his black magic and all this crazy antics that he does, and who else? Terrifier with his clown face and likes to mock you while you're dying, and makes fun of you and likes to smile while you're suffering and torture. And who else? Jeepers Creepers You know, like I said in the other stream, you know, when I was playing pinball like a month ago or whatever,
Help is here.
I was like, when you know he comes, you know how this guy from the Chainsaw Massacre comes on top of the screen here in the middle of the screen and he starts dancing around and swinging his machine around. Well, Jeepers Creepers will like chop somebody's head off, throw it in the center of the board, jump down, grasp it, and you hear that song, and he's whistling.
There are new personnel in the event.
Scary shit, right? That would be great, man. So if we had Jeepers Creepers and Pinball M, that would be badass. A lot of people will buy that table, Jeepers Creepers. Halloween, of course, if they're a Halloween fan. I am. I was gonna say DarkRealmGm. Freddy Krueger, Nightmare on Elm Street. Some Puppet Master on this shit because they brought out Chucky, and Puppet Master was way before Chucky. So I think, you know, it would be great. And Terrifier. Those movies need to be on Pinball M. Because if they're over here bringing out, you know, no, you know, respect to The Thing, because The Thing was the shit. The early 80s and 70s, you know. Thing is good. And then they brought out Chucky, and they brought out Chainsaw Massacre and all that stuff. But if they could do all that, they could bring out Halloween. They could bring out Freddy Krueger. They could bring out Terrifier. I know it's the licensing. I understand that. And if the company wants to be on the game, you know, and the permissions, and I understand all that. But if you really want this game to sell, and it's supposed to be based on horror flicks, put those movies on there. Like I'm saying, like, hopefully, you know, anybody out there that works for Pinball M, if you guys are listening, give us that favor and do us that favor. Give us that favor. Do us that favor, and we would really like worship you guys if you guys give us. I don't know the way to put it. We will worship you guys if you guys put Terrifier in there and Pinball M, Nightmare on Elm Street, Freddy Krueger. Because you got Jason Voorhees. That's another one, Jason Voorhees. We got some camp something, the Bloodbrook camp game, and he looks like Jason, but you know, the reject of Jason, not the real Jason. He's wearing a ski mask, but he's not like with the body outfit like Michael Myers is, you know, or Jason Voorhees. That's another game would be good. Friday the 13th. Put that fool in there, because if they're bringing out all these serial killers into Pinball M, that would be another good one. So instead of Puppet Master, because there were like more than one, and we're talking about serial killers here, not just more than one, right? And the series. So scratch Puppet Master and put Jason Voorhees, Friday the 13th. So that'd be a good, you know, lineup. Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, Michael Myers, Terrifier, and Jeepers Creepers. Those are all, you know, all male figure, you know, that are mass murders.
Why do you wish to ruin
Pinball M will be the shit from there. It's already the shit. It's good, you know, and we thank you for giving us that. But if you really want, you know, Pinball M to shoot up the charts, and if you could get the license, permissions, and all that, and, you know, the directors of those movies to come into Pinball M, trust me, you want to make bank off this game, give us that, and you'll see. Your Pinball M is going to be popular. It's going to shoot up the charts, because I'm the one that's going to purchase those games. If nobody else will, I will. I'm sure they are, man. I'm just exaggerating, you know. But if you give us Freddy Krueger on Pinball M, you give us Michael Myers Halloween on Pinball M, you give us Jeepers Creepers on Pinball M, you give us Terrifier on Pinball M, and you give us Jason Voorhees, Friday the 13th on Pinball M. You give us that 5, on Pinball M, man, this Pinball M will like shoot up the charts. It would be the most popular horror pinball out there.
Which way, I wonder?
This is cool and all that. It's alright, but we never seen this movie, Warcraft, whatever it's called like that, you know? We never seen a movie of this title game. But if we play the thing, most people navigate towards the thing faster than they'll navigate towards the game that I'm playing right now. You know, Warcraft or whatever it's called, you know? Warlords or whatever. Warlords? Alright, that's cool. I like it, it's alright. But I can't wait to play the Thing, or the Chucky, or, you know, the Jason Voorhees, or Freddy Krueger and all that. Michael Myers, Terrifier, Jeepers Creepers, you know? That's what they want to be playing. You know, this is cool just to, like, you know, you know why I have a feeling, this is my feeling, alright, chat? You know why I have a feeling that they made these games besides the hot tables, like, you know, Chucky and the Things and so on? It's because they wanted to see people's reactions on how they like the game in order for them, you know, to continue making more horror to see if they enjoy playing it. So it's like testing the waters with these games and just give us a little, you know, a bonus, you know, like Chucky and the Thing on there, you know, and Chainsaw Massacre. That's what they're doing. That's my idea, my thought, you know. That is what they're doing. Testing the waters to see how people will react to these games, having, you know, those horror flick games on there. And yeah, you got us. You struck a chord. You're like, oh yeah. You did us all a good favor. I mean, pinball effects is cool. You know, watching playing Star Wars, E.T. and all that. But you know, we were all wondering if you guys are gonna come out with some scary ass shit like mass murders and stuff like that. You know.
Help is here.
And yeah, you know, they struck a chord on adults. You know, you give us what we wanted, and that's great. But like I said, this Warlord thing is alright, but it's not really what we want. You give us what we grew up watching, like Michael Myers, Freddy Krueger and all that, you're gonna make bank on Pinball M. I'll tell you that much. Got more bank than what you guys already did making the game. Because now you guys are jumping the gun without us even mentioning anything about that, you know?
Help is here.
I never fancied the old chapel, but it is a relief to see it now.
Where is that light coming from?
Yeah, but next week I'm gonna be buying a whole new set of games, guys. So, you know, stay tuned for that. I'll put up the thumbnail, and you guys will see what game I'll be purchasing. So next week will be, you know, a fun week for me because I'll have some extra cash and I'll be spending at least about $200 worth of games, you know. I mean, I could use those $200 to buy, you know, the bills are already paid, but I could use to, buy clothes or, buy anything from my mom. But my mom doesn't want anything. She's good. My uncle's living with us, and he buys his own shit. I offer, but he's always saying no. So it is what it is. I could either buy games or go shopping, buy boots, buy clothes, whatever. More Kuromi shit, maybe Barbie. Might as well, right, motherfucker? Here's the last game, then I'm gonna jump into some Chucky. Oh shit, man, that's funny. Barbie. And we believe you, Dark Realm. Fucking fruity ass motherfucker.
Help is here.
No more danger. You can rest now.
But yeah. So, but I'd rather buy some games. You know what I mean? That way I have more to play with. Some people would be like, "Hey, Dark Realm, how come you don't play some more of the modern games? Like I said, my computer is capable of playing anything because I have that kind of computer. I'm not gonna go there again. If you heard me on the last stream and I mentioned the computer, you already know what's up with my shit. Nothing bad, but still, I don't want to go there. And if you guys haven't heard it, then you guys haven't heard it. But like I said, I'm not gonna go there. But I'm capable of streaming anything. It's just I have more control playing nostalgia games than playing all these technical RPGs and playing these Call of Duty and Call of Duty and playing all this these 4K games that I don't know anything about. And it's all about fun and streaming, with your friends and the people that subscribe to you and all that. I understand. But I'm like everybody else. I like to win. And when I lose, I just get frustrated. I'm like that, And so I like to play games that relax me, that I get to enjoy. You guys get to enjoy hearing my stupid ass, till we can have a good time. Because I'm over here like, alright, what's next and all that, like Devil May Cry. You saw me, I was like, like anxious, because I wanted to pass it. Or like Sonic Forces, I was in the end, Dr. Eggman, and I was already tired, and I thought the stream was going to kick me out and yada yada, so I didn't pass it. Got to the end of the game, but I didn't pass it. That's what I'm talking about. So like I said, I could play all those Xbox games and all those 4K Xbox One games, whatever the hell, Give me any K you want and I can stream it. The thing is that I don't have as much as fun as I do playing nostalgia games like Double Dragon and stuff like that. Even Double Dragon is difficult as well because you gotta have patience because you lose a lot of lives just to get to the end. And they only give you 2 lives after you put in like 50 credits in it. You know what I mean? So games like Fatal Fury or games like Double Dragon, Street Fighter, and I'm into fighters. And the 90 babies and the 2000s and all that stuff, this is their era. They all play Call of Duty, they're playing Splinter Cell, they're playing any 4K, you name it, anything that looks like us in real time. That's their era. But my era is like Centipede and Defender and Dig Dug and Pac-Man and Pitfall. Well, Pitfall is kind of like already like modern, but I mean Breakout and stuff like that. Those are all my games. That's what I grew up with. That was the shit because that was my time. And I'm sure there's other content creators out there that play those games too, but they like all the 4K because they want to entertain the crowd with, you know, the new animation and, you know, the gameplay and the action, and, you know, it sounds great in your setup with your speakers, and, you know, you're like, you know, you're the shit with 2.9, you know, K of subscribers. I only have 41. And out of those 41, nobody shows up. You did me a favor, but, you know, it's like, you know, a new booty to this shit, you know? It's like fresh out of the market. But, you know, I'm doing my thing. Whether if I don't have 2 point something K or 1 point something K or whatever, you know, anything with K in it, you know? I'm having fun doing me. Because that's the only thing I know how to do is me, you know? So, let's get some Chucky. Anyways, fucking bitch. Alright. You wanna play some Chucky? No? You just wanna watch? Alright. Yeah, so, I don't know, chat. So, yeah. I'm just doing my thing. I'm happy, you know, not having that much crowd. I like all these platforms so everybody could come and see, you know. Oh, look at that guy. That guy looks interesting. I'm gonna see his show, see what he's talking about and what he's playing and stuff. You know, some kick rocks, some don't. Some stick around and enjoy, you know, my ugly ass, you know. And the gameplay and all that stuff. Or game. Look at the game G.I. Joe. I was surprised that night. I thought like everybody knew G.I. Joe. Guess not, because I got like 100 and something viewers that night. I'm like, God damn. That was like the only video on my channel that made a hit that night for 130 viewers. But at the end of the night to the next morning, it was 166. If you guys go look at my my past videos on my channel, I got 166 views on that thing for a vertical shoot 'em up game of G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe's a shit, right? Just like they have that game on Steam, that side-scrolling beat 'em up G.I. Joe game, the Wrath of Cobra. Yeah, I'm like, what the hell is going on? And I was happy, and I was like, wow, thank you. I really appreciate this, you know. And I had people chatting and all that stuff and saying I never saw this game before. I'm like, it's out there. It's good. And I saw it and I'm like, I gotta get that. Because I played that in the arcades. Not everybody remembers arcades, but I do. You know, but what I meant to say was not everybody remembers playing that game, specific game, G.I. Joe, in the arcade. I do. And it was lined up with those old school 80 game shoot 'em up games, like vertical, like Cobra. No, not Cobra. What was it? Cannibal. What's the other one? Operation Wolf, Terminator, and all those. You know, but all those games that I just mentioned right now before Terminator, all those were before Terminator. Obviously, Terminator was in the 90s. But they had those games, Operation Wolf with the 2 guns and everything, just like Terminator, but with the title Operation Wolf. Yeah, but that was the only video in my channel that made it with 130 viewers that night. I never got that much before. That was my first time. But what I see on Twitch, what I see on Kick, when I see on TikTok, and when I see on YouTube and all the, you know, social media platforms, I see guys having like, you know, something K, and they've been around longer, okay? I'll give them that. And that's the reason why. But, you know, you hardly see a man wearing what I'm wearing, like Karomi and all that. Oh, he's probably this and he's probably that, and maybe I don't want to go to the stream because I don't want to see some dude, 50-year-old dude, you know, with a beard, still wearing Kuromi women's clothing type shit, you know? That's weird to me. Whatever. You know, some people are not, you know, hip to, you know, like, you know, thinking out of the box. They'd rather stay traditional or whatever. I don't know. You know, I didn't make them. It's not my flaw. So.
A result truly beyond.
But yeah, you know, I mean, but I'm happy not having, you know, a lot. Same, you know, eventually I'll get there, and if I don't ever get that much, it's all good. I'm doing this for fun. It gets me like productive kind of thing, because like I said in many other streams, if I was still in LA and I wasn't here where I'm at now, you know, I would probably be somewhere in the street, you know, going clubbing or going to a bar and doing, still be in a band, you know, and not know about how to stream because I'll be too busy, you know, trying to get my groove on. You know what I mean? Because in LA, there's always some shit to do. Here where I'm at, you have to figure out what to do. That's the difference. Because where I'm at, it's like if you're born and raised in Hollywood or you're born and raised in LA, and you end up, you know, moving somewhere where it's not the same, and you don't have all your friends, you don't have all the clubs, you don't have all the partying, and all that shit went out the window because you wanted to move, or you need to move, or for some reason you moved. It's not the same. Because I know some people will say, well, wherever you go, you can make your own Hollywood. Listen to what I'm saying. It's not the same. It's a positive thought. It's a positive, you know, way of thinking about it and doing it, but it's not the same. Because people travel around the world just to go to Hollywood to see the rich and the fame. You know, where it all started type of shit, you know. Rich and the fame, which is music and movie, whatever, you know. Whatever their desire to go to Hollywood for, you know.
I beg of you. Snap out of it. Dirt, Tommy.
Does it scare you, mamas? Yeah? She doesn't like that laugh because she freaks out. Romi's badass. Huh, mama? She's all, hey. So all she knows how to say, fucking bitch. I mean, she's all talking like a, you know, singing like a bird when she's playing, you know, the Hello Kitty game, and other people, you know, other content creators are playing that Hello Kitty game with Kuromi on there, and she's all like, you know, thinking she's a shit because everybody's playing her. But when it comes to these games and I'm streaming like that, she's quiet. But when she's not on the camera, she's talking her little butt off. And you think Chucky's freaky, you know, when you look at him and you're over here like, how can that be possible? A doll talking to me and communicating and cussing me out and flipping me off and all that shit. You should see Kuromi. Your mouth will be like the whole time, because you can't believe that there's, you know, there's possessed dolls out there, but when they're moving, you're like in the movies when they see something that is impossible, they're like, you'll be the same way. She talks a lot all night, but when she's on stream, she acts like, you know, she's just a doll. She doesn't behave like, you know, like me and you.
That was good.
Okay, Chucky. The way he laughs is just making fun of you, like. That's what you get, motherfucker. Bitch. I see. What goes around comes around. You were laughing at me, and now you got trash, bitch.
Level up and unlock the secrets of the abyss.
I ain't gonna go look for the secrets. Fuck the secrets. I hate it when that thing moves.
Told you we were gonna be friends to the end, and now it's time to play.
Promise me, Chucky, no more killing. Chucky.
And guess what? You're it. Hi, Day, Dewey, Dumbella. Give me that power. Beep, 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 beep. Beep, beep. God damn it. Beep, 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 beep. When he's all doing that fucking, the chant and shit that he does, the Art of Dumbella. And Kyle is over here. She's all beeping off the car that she stole just to chase Andy and Chucky. Oh man, he's over here doing the chant behind the truck, and she's like beep beep beep, and he's like, what the fuck? I can't get my shit done, and he's just like, his little finger goes like flips him off, flips the bitch off. That's funny. Oh man, fucking Chucky's amazing. Because those chants have to be perfect. You can't scream it out. You can't be quiet. You just gotta chant it. You know, it's like medium. Gotta be loud, but not loud. But you know what I mean, loud. You know, has to be loud. You're chanting it out. And if you do the ritual and you mispronounce anything or not do it right, it's frustrating because you have to start all over and. Yeah, it's like, you're pissed. So that's why I know what Chuck is talking about.
Promise me, Chucky, no more killing.
I mean, I don't do voodoo, but, when you chant something, it's like prayer. But prayer is different. Prayer, you can do it silently and you don't have to chant anything out. Or scream it out because, there's some churches that, that scream it out. Those are like Pentecostal churches, They have different ways of expressing themselves by worshiping the Lord, type of thing. But when it comes to witchcraft, you have to chant it out in order for the certain deity that you're working with to hear the calling, of its name.
Let's see. What should we do today?
Like, you guys ever seen the movie The Craft? You ever watched the movie The Craft? When they were on the beach and they were chanting out Meno, like that. They started out with a chant, but when it started getting intense, they know that that they're being heard, and that's where it got more, louder.
Tommy.
But when you mess up, the verses, yeah, it's frustrating. And that's why I could see why Chucky was like going cuckoo and bananas when he was being interrupted during, the chant. Because, like, if you say misspelled words, it won't work. It has to be precise. You have to be on cue when you practice, your chants.
Promise me, Chucky, no more killing. Chucky.
Amazing, isn't it?
That was from part 2. When the teacher, grabs the the doll. And she's like, Andy, stop messing with me. There's no such thing as, dolls that come alive and yada. And he just, and he had the doll facing down, right? And Chucky's back was facing towards the lady. She turns around and he's like, he turns his head around, all the way around, completely around it. And he's like, amazing, isn't it? And he just stabs her right in the chest. And guess what, y'all? There's a mall around the corner from where I stay at. And guess what they have at Spencer's?
Chucky, no more killing. Chucky.
They have Glenda. AKA Glenn. I call him Glenda because that shit was funny. They put lipstick and eyeshadow on his ass. I like the part when they're both looking at the doll like, look, it's a boy. No, it's a girl. And they're like, they spread their legs open and it's flat. And they're trying to figure out if it's a boy or a girl. And they're like, what the fuck? That was hilarious. I was cracking up the whole time. I'm like, that's what I'm dealing with right now. Because, that's what I'm dealing with right now. Because I'm over here like flat too. I don't have anything. But I'm not like, when nobody's looking, I'm not like looking at myself, down there and trying to figure out what am I, I'm just like, whatever, But these guys, they're over here like, looking at Glenn and he's all flat and they're like trying to figure out what, gender he is. Oh, that was hilarious.
And I'm your friend to the end.
Yeah, they're selling Glenn though in a big giant box, tall and with the legs and everything, of course. And yeah, I don't know how much, I didn't look at the price because it was way in the top. Usually they have the Chucky when you walk in the Spencer's store, and it's always in the top. Yeah, they have Glenn, alright. I might end up purchasing Glenn because I want Glenn. Because I like sleeping with, possessed dolls on my bed. That's just me. That's just, my fetish. That's my thing. Like if I had Annabelle on there, and Peggy, I would have her, and specifically in her own little area. Because Peggy likes to be by herself. But Annabelle's cool, to like lay down with, or have her on your bed, while you're sleeping, taking care of you. Just like the Omen, when he was a baby, he had the Rottweiler take care of him, right? And when he got older, not only he had the Rottweiler as a bodyguard, but he also had the crow that will attack you. The raven. So I would like to have, like Annabelle and then have Peggy inside somewhere in my bedroom. Have their own, because she likes to have her own space. She's claustrophobic. Same way as me. I'm claustrophobic as well. I like to have my own space. But yeah, Annabelle, Chucky, any possessed doll that I could find that I know that, that would protect me at night, while I'm sleeping, I would like to have in my room. Like, you guys know about the Pazuzu statue? The Pazuzu, the statue that comes out in the movie The Exorcist? That dog with the wings, that statue, and he's like this. And then you see all those dogs killing each other in the beginning. And the old guy, the old guy that was a priest or whatever, he's looking at the statue and he's like freaking out by it. Him. Well, anyways, that statue, I have it right there on my window. Sign of protection. So yeah, so I would like those dolls, to protect me while I'm sleeping.
It's the actual doll.
And that's just me. That's just me. I'm not trying to freak you guys out or nothing. Yeah, that's just the way, Dark Realm thinks. That's the way I do things. And yes, I will spend my money just, for that type of protection, for my comfort. Most people will get, a dog to, protect their house. Every time the dog barks, there's somebody in the front door. That's giving you the heads up, right? Well, that's what I would do instead of buying a dog. I had a cat, but it got hit by a car, and you know the outcome of that. I didn't make it. That was my baby. It was a female black cat. I called her Wicca, 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 as magic Wicca type shit. She had a cute little collar that I bought her at Amazon, black around, collar with the little silver studs, like you will wear on your wrist, for guys or girls when you guys are into metal or whatever. You have the little studs. Well, she had the studs, but then she also had the little medallion, and it was like a little pentagram, a little pentacle with the two little moons facing the opposite way, the goddess Diana of the crescent moon and all that. So that little medallion was dangling, and it was a black, collar with the little studs, the little pyramids. I could have bought spikes, but then I thought spikes would look good on her, but when she likes to clean herself or whatever, or she turns a certain way, or she's laying down a certain way, she's gonna poke herself. So I'm like, I think studs would be better, the little pyramids, because she won't poke herself. But I thought of the spike thing. So this one had pyramid, and then I bought her another collar. It was black as well, but then instead of pyramids, it was skulls, little skulls around, like a pinky finger space in between each skull around her collar, and she looked badass. And and she tried to, how cats and dogs, when they're in the freeway, in the street or whatever, and they try to outrun a car by getting in front of it because they need to go about their way. She didn't make it. She got hit.
Snap out of it.
I miss Wicca. I still have pictures of her on my phone, and I put her on Facebook, I believe, or on Instagram. I don't know. It's been a long time though. Back in 2018, I got her, and it only lasted not even a year. It only lasted like 6-7 months with her, and she got smashed. That's funny. I love that word. So anywho, yeah. So like I was saying, I might end up getting Glenn. Glenn, I really want. I got Tiffany, with her head chopped off, and her torso and showing her tits somewhere in a box in the garage. And I took her jacket off and I gave it to Chucky. Now he's wearing the bitch's jacket and the little medallion that says Tiffany on it in gold. Made out of acrylic. Gold acrylic. It's hilarious, but I'm gonna buy Glenn for sure. Because I like to feel, protected when I'm asleep. I don't like to, feel vulnerable. So like I said, if I could have, anything that, people have that, phobia or fear or you're the devil and you're gonna go to hell and yada yada. And for having that item in your house, then that's what I like to sleep with. Like, look at, I'm being serious. I'm not just, jibing you guys or, being stupid with you guys. But look what's on my bed. See, my boy Zozo. I have respect to Zozo, and Zozo has respect with me. But I'll tell you one thing. You mess with that, Didi, you fuck with Zozo. You're fucked for life. Just saying. And that's what including me too. You fuck them over, it's no second chance or okay, you're a homie. Shut up, Chucky, I'm talking, bitch. If you're a homie and all that stuff like that, no. That's with everybody. Just one chance. You fuck them over.
Get moving.
Go to another planet. because you're gonna be fucked for life. So just saying, you know, like that's why I feel protected. But that's just me. Like I said, that's just me. You know.
Tommy.
If someone plays with the board, okay, and you know they say stories like, "Oh, you're gonna get cursed, you're gonna die." As if it doesn't get you, it's gonna get your loved ones to get to you and type of shit. Yeah, whatever. If you play with the board and you ask stupid questions, you're gonna get a stupid response. Because demons are just like humans. They have feelings too. Just because they're in hell doesn't mean they're, you know, they don't burn. It doesn't mean they don't suffer. It doesn't mean that, you know, they don't have any type of weakness. Everything has a fucking weakness. Everything. Okay? And that's what I'm saying. If you mess with them, they mess with you. You ask stupid questions, you get a stupid response. You know? You respect them, and they'll respect you as a practitioner or whatever the hell you are to them. If they mess with you anyways, you gotta let them be, just like they let you be, because that's part of their traits. If they fuck with humans, that's too bad. You have to live with it, because y'all gotta remember, as I remind myself every day, we're on their turf. They are not on ours. Human curiosity always navigates towards getting their attention. They're not over here trying to get ours. Think about it. You got girls playing with witchcraft. You got guys playing with the witchcraft. You got, you know, people navigating towards the darker aspects of the world. They already know what God is about. You know? But they want to know, you know, the devil, and they want to know what the other side is about. You know? Because it's a lot more of a rush. You get that rush of wanting to put your nose where it doesn't belong. Because it's the hype, the rush, and you found out something because it's priceless. Meeting God to a Christian or to, you know, worshiper of Christ, meeting God is priceless. Meeting the devil, meeting demons, things that you don't normally see on a daily basis, that's priceless to people. That's why it's a rush, and that's why they navigate towards things that are not good for them, spiritually and physically. You know, but they do it anyways. You can't tell people and alter people's destiny. They're gonna do it in the contrary, regardless. You know, you can't change the mind of something or someone that's bullheaded, because they're gonna do it anyways. They have to experience for themselves in order to learn from the consequences as of either continue doing that crap or never doing it again. Some people learn, some people don't, and some people don't want to. You know? So if me having that on there because I feel like I'm protected, even though me and you know good and well that, you know, I'm just, you know, bullshitting myself and really I can fuck myself over. That's my thing. Like I said, you can't alter someone's destiny. You could tell them until you're blue in the face, because as a friend, you're trying to protect your friend for not to go that route. But once it's synced in into their brain, they're gonna do it regardless if you tell them if you're blue in the face or not. Because everybody wants their own experience of things, whether if it's something good in life or something bad. And not everybody, you know, meets that specific deity or specific angel that people experience and death row or life experiences or whatever. They always show up different. Not everybody has the same, you know, outcome of meeting something. Like if somebody meets like a goth girl, if somebody meets a Lilith or Hecate or any, you know, demon deity, they're gonna reveal themselves a certain way just for that specific individual. Now, if somebody else meets those deities, like such and such that I was just talking about right now. They're not gonna present themselves like they did with the other individual. With this individual, they're gonna present themselves different. Why? Because it's priceless. You don't see that on your everyday basis thing. It's not normal. But regardless if it's normal or not normal, or people believe in it or they don't, you gotta remember, we are not alone in this world. There's a lot of spiritual principalities and gods that we are living with. We're on a turf where we're being put to the test, not to get comfortable with. But like I said, I'm just saying that. I'm just spitting it out. And I'm just saying, I'm not altering nobody's destiny. I'm just saying, So that makes me comfortable. I'm happy with that. Knowing good and well, me and you knowing good and well that that's bad for me, spiritually. But it is what it is. When you have a tide with something, you don't want to let it go. Because you have that tide. You have that bond. Everybody's, everybody's out, like I said, everybody's like to their own. You create problems for yourself. Nobody ain't gonna live it for you. You're gonna live your own problems that you created for yourself. They told you not to go that route. At least they did their behalf and they can live with themselves. Because some people can't live with themselves unless they tell you. They can't bear to see you, and you're friends with them or they're family members, and they can't bear to see you suffering because you did something to yourself that you thought was funny and cute, and then you get fucked over in the end. But I always learned that actions are speak louder than words type of thing. Like people can say, "Oh, I sleep with this," or "I hang out with this," or "I do this and I do that," and all that. If you don't have any proof, you're just spitting in the wind, fighting windmills. Nobody ain't gonna believe you, because we live in a society where you have to show proof now and then before you could, try to convince someone. So when I say, DarkRealmGm, I like, I like running around with Annabelle doll or Peggy, and she's the worst of all, all of them. Annabelle's bad too, but she's the main head, respect to my girl Peggy. But still, if you have anything like that in the house, you make sure that you have respect towards those things, because they didn't ask for you to put them in the house so you could have them in their display so you could scare your friends and your neighbors and all that. They didn't ask for that. You made your own decision for he or she to put that type of material in your house. They didn't ask for it. Now if you do it, remember, you have to have respect, because if you don't, they're like humans. What happens when you disrespect somebody and you get in their face and you tell them something that they don't want to hear? You're going to get smacked in the face, right? You're going to get beat up by that individual. Same way with them. I'm going to play a few more games and I'll be done for today, guys. Alright? But anyway, same way with them. They have feelings too. Just because they're demons and they have cut up project cuts or whatever, and they're like, they look big and they're tall and they're ugly and they're scary and scare the living shit out of you, and you will go cuckoo just seeing something like that type of horror. That's just their traits. That's just the way they're made and they're designed. Just like we're designed to be perfect under God's image, right? Well, they're designed to be perfect on their own image. So, same way they respect us and trying to figure out, us, we're the same way with them. Respect them, and because we're over here trying to figure it out them. Knowing good and well and behind, in the back of our mind, that we shouldn't be messing with, things like that because we're going to get fucked over. But our curiosity tells us to do it anyways. And knowing our bullheaded individuals, that's what we do. That's our MO. We get into things that we know is not good for us, and we do it anyways. And when it blows up in our face, we wonder why. And it doesn't have to be like this type of material in your home. It could be anything in life. It doesn't have to be, all spooky looky, mama looky, just to get to your head and scare your ass. It could be good stuff too. Things that are not good, or things that are good for you and we don't do, we end up suffering the consequence for not doing it. So yeah. So when I say Dark Realm likes to sleep with dolls and all that stuff, and they could be possessed, and that's crazy shit, I would never do something like that. That's you. And I'm doing me the best way I could be me. Because like I said in many other streams, you come in alone and you leave alone. When you see someone pass, do you see them pass, when they, pass away? Do you see them pass holding somebody's hand? Or when someone gives birth to a new life, do you see them come to this earth holding someone's hand? No, right? Because you come in alone and you leave alone. And at the end of the day, the only person you have is yourself. I totally lost myself. I don't know what started this conversation. When I was your age. Oh, me, man. Fuck. I have fun. Seriously.
It's the actual dolphin, those murders.
But you guys understand what I'm saying, I'm not over here trying to blow smoke up your butt,
Give me the power, I beg of you.
And you don't have to be subculture. You don't have to be into some sort of into metal or dressed all black and you're into, the spooky looky things of life and all that. You could be a regular Joe with some jeans, regular t-shirt with Pac-Man on it, Mario Brother, whatever, and just be a regular cat and navigate towards those things, Because like they say, and like I always say, curiosity could sometimes be a very dangerous drug, and it can, whether if it's something good or something bad. It's dangerous.
Awake!
Okay, sport. We're gonna have a little game of Chucky Says. Chucky says, move your ass.
Ladies first, bitch. You guys heard me say that to Chucky right now, and you're like, Dark Realm, what happened to respect? Don't give me that, dude. Don't throw that shit on me, dude. You know exactly what I'm talking about. That's funny. Yeah, you guys know what I'm talking about. When you have a certain specific material.
Playtime's over.
Well, hello, Dolly.
Hey, girl.
exercise.
A good strangulation to keep the circulation going.
Hey, Dumbledore. Promise me, Chucky, no more killing. Chucky.
Gee, I don't know. What will Martha Stewart say? Fuck Martha Stewart.
Dirt, Tommy.
I love that part. He starts laughing about me and all that shit, and then turns around and he's being trashed, and now he's mad. That's called it's not schizophrenic. It's called what's that thing that the situation called when people are suffering by? It's bipolar. One moment you're laughing at a certain individual, and now you're over here pissed because you're in the trash can and you're gonna get tossed like a Caesar salad, punk. That's funny. But anyways, this is DarkRealmGm here, and if you guys enjoy the show, I really appreciate it. I mean, just give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed the show, and yeah, hope you guys have a great day out there, and stay safe, take care, and don't mind me. But just remember what I say, respect things that are believable and things that are non-believable. And with respect, you'll get further in life than when you disrespect somebody or something that that's not human. Just be careful on the things you dabble with in life, and you're good. Remember, curiosity could get you in trouble, but also curiosity is a good thing, because it gets other people out of trouble. But anyways, enough said for today. Like I said, if you guys enjoyed the show, please give me a like and subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And as for me, I'm about to kick rocks. This is the end of the stream for today. Have a great day. I might put a thumbnail for another game tonight. Who knows? We'll see. Alright? Take care, everybody. Peace out. Thanks for joining me on Twitch and anybody on Twitter. And like I said, next week I have a new set of games, and I'll be buying the premium for Twitter, so you'll be able to chat with me on Twitter. And also on Kick. I'll be on the new platform Kick as well. TikTok, I'm still being iffy about that. I have an account, but I haven't set up, any live TikTok studio or anything like that. But I'm thinking about Trevo. I might end up going to Trevo. We'll see. What's up? For now, I just want to master maybe Twitch. On the chat thing. I say I need to master that, and on Kick as well, and on the Twitter thing. Once I get those platforms done, then maybe I'll go. But I'm gonna, sign up for, to get more platforms out there open, so I could reach you guys, and you guys, could come and chat with me, about anything. Like I says in my description, music, fashion, movies, etc. Whatever, Girls, if you guys want to talk about girls, we'll talk about girls, whatever. But anywho, this is a platform where you can be yourself. If you're trying to be yourself in other platforms and you get banned, some people like to gatekeep, some don't. I don't gatekeep, because you guys know right from wrong. If you know how to tell your truth, you know right from wrong. If you want to come into somebody's chat that you don't even know, somebody's stream, and you disrespect, you're the one that's going to make yourself look like a butt, nobody else. You guys know how you're going to treat that individual, for he or she. But anyways, like I said, no gatekeeping in my channel. But, if you get banned, by certain moderators of mine, everybody's different. Everybody, ticks and takes things differently. Like I said, you won't get banned by me because there's no gatekeeping, but, it is what it is. You know what I mean? But anywho, like I said, this is the place where you can be yourself. Whether if you're polka dot, stripe, the TRANS, or gay, lesbian, whatever you want to be, attach or detach on yourself, whatever, it's allowed here. Okay, because it's all good fun and communication is key. You know, that's the way I see it. But anyways, have a good day, everybody. Take care and stay safe.